The Knights Templar allegedly vanished off the face of the earth in 1307.
The Templars were the special forces units of their day. Organizations like that don't just disappear.
Miraculously surviving thanks to advanced skills and tactics honed over centuries. The team believes uncovering these strategies will give them vital clues to how the Knights could have escaped destruction in 1307.
As a military strategist, looking at an organization in survival mode is the best way to truly understand their tactics.
Earlier in the investigation,
Saladin's army were attempting to smash down the center of the Templars' world. Defeat is not an option.
No.
the Templars' first great test came in 1187 in Jerusalem, when the Muslim general Saladin decimated the Templar army and conquered their headquarters.
It's a surprise that they weren't totally destroyed, but they weren't.
Plan, which could have repurposed underground tunnels to get the surviving knights and their godly powerful relics to safety.
That hole just there, you think you could get the Ark of the Covenant through that?
If that was one of the objects they were protecting, they'd have gotten it out.
But the Templars were not on the run for long. "100 miles north of Jerusalem, the bustling port city of Acre, known today as Akko, became the Templars' new headquarters. In less than 10 years, they turned this city into a military and financial powerhouse, all with the goal of taking back Jerusalem from the Muslims.
This is all built on the old city.
During the Templars' 100-year reign in Acre, from 1191 to 1291, the Knights amassed a fortune equivalent to billions of dollars through donations, trade, and a sophisticated global banking system. Learning the lessons of Jerusalem, they began evolving their tactics and used much of their wealth to fortify this city with state-of-the-art military structures.
Looking at what they did from a military perspective, their evolution is going to take the investigation to the next level.
That's the Templar fortress. And all the blocks and all the walls around here came from that fortress. That's how substantial that thing was.
The Templars controlled the southern shore of the city. All around them were bustling marketplaces and neighborhoods run by Italian merchants. Looming over them all was the four-story Templar fortress, the first layer of defense for a territory that would be in the crosshairs of their enemies.
Pretty thick walls.
That's the foundation. That's the footer. Footer for the fortress. It just must have been just massive.
The fortress had walls over 28 feet wide, 7 times thicker than the granite walls of Fort Knox.
It was one of, if not the most powerful, most massive, substantial fortresses in all of the Holy Land.
The Templars were determined to keep their gold, silver, and holy relics secure at all costs. These relics, believed by some to include the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail, were rumored to be the source of the Templars' immense power. Written accounts of the time describe waves of pilgrims traveling thousands of miles to see holy relics in Acre, including a cross believed to be made from a wash bin Jesus had touched, with alleged healing properties.
These relics were incredibly valuable and really believed to have what we'd now call magical properties.
The people respected the Templars because those people knew that the Templars had something incredibly sacred. Looking at this area, it's fortified.
Where else are you going to keep something that means the absolute world?
It would be somewhere around here.
The massive fortress was only one part of the Templars' sophisticated defense systems in Acre. And what they built above the ground paled in comparison to what they built beneath it.
A lot of secret places in Acre, you know.
Dr. Eliezer Stern takes the team to a recently discovered area of what was once a massive Templar underground military complex.
Follow me, please.
Mikey and Garth are some of the first people outside of Dr. Stern's small team to set foot down here.
It's pretty deep. Wow, that must be a 20-foot drop.
It's 20 foot, yeah. Look at this.
Holy this is huge.
It's pretty wild.
What in the blazes was this place?
This is the huge storage room under the palace.
This chamber is one small part of a massive subterranean hive. Ancient Accra sprawled over 50 acres, the size of 40 football fields. Today, its enormous underground is still 97% unexplored.
What would they have stored here?
Everything that they need in order to take care of their fortress. This is the headquarters of more than 10 fortresses that they have all around the Middle East. So whenever they need something, they brought it from Europe through the port of Akko into these cellars, and from here all over the Mediterranean.
The underground beneath Accra was the main artery feeding the Templar war machine, where they stockpiled horses, armor, weapons, rations, and tons upon tons of gold and silver. All of it strategically safeguarded deep beneath Accra's streets.
Think about the scale of operation to dig tunnels beneath a city. You know, that's a very, very time-consuming, expensive project. And you don't do it if this isn't an important part of your military strategy.
Among the countless storage depots beneath the streets of Accra, this vault may have had a special purpose.
In this area, it is supposed to be the palace of the master of the Templars.
The Grand Master.
Not the Grand Master.
The chief, the big boss.
Yes.
The Grand Master's palace. I had to double take just to make sure that he told me that. This is like being stood under the White House.
Supreme leader of the Knights Templar, answering only to the Pope. His life's purpose was to safeguard the order and its sacred assets. If the Ark of the Covenant, or Holy Grail, were in Accra, this vault would have been key to the Templars' strategic plan to protect them.
That area itself screams hiding. It screams hiding anything you don't want anybody to get to. The Grand Master of the Templars is living above you. The amount of protection this place is getting is probably more than most places on Earth.
This is amazing.
This recently discovered vault and its antechambers lie directly below the palace of the Grand Master, Supreme Commander of the Knights Templar, and the man entrusted to protect the Templars' most valuable treasure and relics.
Just think physically how much you could store here.
Huge mass of treasure.
I'm the Grand Master. I've got a high-value asset, a really, really valuable relic. I'm bringing that thing here.
Yeah.
If this vault held relics like the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant that may have been key to the Templars' power, the Knights would have needed escape plans in the event the city was overrun, like in Jerusalem.
The Templars were pathological planners. There were no dead ends in a Templar structure. You wanted to be able to get in and out of every place you go.
The team moves to another area of the Templar underground, excavated by Stern.
So this is underground tunnel of the Templars.
This is incredible.
It's been built under the Templar quarter.
This 1,100-foot stretch of tunnel was discovered in 1994 and connects the Templar fortress to the harbor, providing them with a clandestine highway to the sea.
So this is their secret passage to the port.
Yes.
This is amazing because if, for example, there was significant armies bearing down on Akko, if I'm the Grand Master Templar and I know that I can get an HVA out through a tunnel right into the port, I'm going to be looking at maritime option as my #1 contingency plan coming out of that.
Yeah.
During their 100 years in Accra, the Templars expanded their maritime operations. to transport the money that had become the lifeblood of their war effort.
If you try and break down what moving large amounts of money around in the Middle Ages means, it starts to give you an idea of the scale of Templar operations. Armoured trucks, you've got to be able to guard it efficiently and effectively. If you're taking wealth by boat, you've got to have boats that are not going to be attacked and taken over by pirates.
This network of ships, designed to move high-value cargo, would have enabled the Templars to escape anywhere in their domain if Acre was ever seriously compromised. But to safely move relics to the harbor and the ships, there would need to be an underground connection between the Grand Master's vault to this tunnel. Such a connection has not yet been found, but 97% of Acre's underground remains unexplored.
So this here, that looks a bit ominous. What is that? This big gap.
This is a guard room.
So you got a guard posted right
Yes,
there.
this is the guard room.
The guard room was placed a third of the way between the fortress and the sea, and just 50 yards from the high security vaults.
If there is any tension, any security problems, they are coming down from the guard room and put iron bar engaging to this wall and block the way.
A portcullis.
Every small detail they think about. This is the Templar, this is military order.
A portcullis is a reinforced grate of wood or iron, dropped from grooves in the ceiling by chains. An emergency medieval barricade, like steel lockdown doors banks used during robberies. It would be a life-saving delay tactic if the Templars were pursued down this tunnel.
Looking up and seeing the little holes where the portcullis would have gone, and that moment of realization that I'm looking at the ability to fortify the exfiltration route within a moment's notice was phenomenal. That was effectively a control point.
How far does it go in?
It's only the room, and it's blocked. We don't know yet.
There's this buried space behind the guard room that's never been excavated, and it could have been connected to some escape route. So that's something I want to take a look at.
The guard room could hide a connection between the escape tunnel and the Grand Master's vault. Garth and Mikey bring in state-of-the-art LiDAR, a military technology used to survey enemy targets using pulsed laser light and sensors.
Let's put her out. We're scanning.
LiDAR uses precision lasers to create high-resolution 3D images that can reveal tiny, telling details. It's so accurate that NASA uses LiDAR to analyze particles in Martian dust.
So it's giving you a scaled internal drawing of that room. We should be able to record just the minutia of texture of the blocks on the wall, any deviation in the patterns of blocks. So if there's another blocked up room or doorway, we should be able to tell that. See, there we go. See the mortar in the blocks? Yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit.
Amazing.
Because LiDAR is so new to the field of archaeology, this is the first time it has been used in Acre.
What is this?
I don't know. See that blocked off door? There's a filled room back there.
Wow.
LiDAR reveals a walled-up portal leading to a mysterious chamber.
What's it filling? What's on the other side of the door? I don't know.
Do you know,
be another
Dr.
cell.
No, I don't know.
It
We
could
have
be
to-
another cell.
Yes.
Like another cell on the other side or something like that.
Wow.
The area beyond the door is filled with debris, but it appears to lead in the direction of the Grand Master's vault. The team heads back to that area, 50 yards away, to investigate for signs of a connection from the other side.
Oh my God.
Oh, look at that. Here we are 15 meters from the guard room.
They find a mysterious hole that could lead to the filled-in chamber detected by the LiDAR, completing the escape route.
So we are in Templar cavities that actually connect the guard room, which sits on top of the tunnel, which basically connects all of these cavities to the guard room, to the extensive tunnel network.
Yes.
So everything's connected.
Yes.
Wow. That's amazing. Relics were kept in there, and I want to get those relics out of there. The most logical way to rapidly exfiltrate them when the place is coming under threat is through this tunnel. It's perfect.
Compared to the suspected escape tunnels the team found in Jerusalem,
Mikey, look at this.
Accra's underground shows advances in architecture and planning.
Every military organization in the history of warfare evolves. The good ones that survive really understand the lessons identified from conflict. You can evolve your tactics. You can evolve your strategic planning. That's exactly what the Templars were doing in Accra.
The Templars had built a system of underground bunkers to rival any in the world. They flourished in the safety of Accra's defenses for 100 years. But in 1291, 104 years...
There was a new and much more dangerous enemy for the Templars in the Holy Land. They were called the Mamluks, cast of slave soldiers.
The Mamluks had overthrown their masters to seize power in Egypt. They were the first to defeat Mongol hordes in all-out war. And they had assembled a 250,000-man army with one objective: destroy Accra and drive the Christian Crusaders out of the Holy Land forever.
The Mamluks had really swept through the Crusader states at an alarming rate, and there was very little left, and by 1291, Accra was under siege. One morning, bells in Accra started ringing, the alarm went up, and the Mamluks had brought up, it was said, hundreds of thousands of men to surround the city. They had giant catapults hammering at the enormous walls which surrounded Accra.
Through sheer weight of numbers, the Mamluks burst through the city walls.
We have graphic accounts of Mamluk soldiers riding around, trampling women and children beneath the hooves of their horses, slitting people open with their swords, causing complete chaos.
The Grand Master of the Templars, William of Beaujeu, was killed in the bloody onslaught. As the Templars prepared for a last stand in their fortress, second in command, Theobald Godin, may have been charged with a special mission, saving the knight's powerful relics.
We have one very good account of the fall of Accra, written by a writer normally known as the Templar of Tyre. He saw everything unfold.
Godin became the new acting Grand Master. With 250,000 Mamluks in the streets above, now was the time to enact the Templars' doomsday strategy, using their underground complex as an escape network. According to the Templar of Tyre, Godin took a squadron of his best men and headed for the port to escape by boat.
Now, we don't know very much about Theobald Godin. Our best theory is that he took with him the most valuable items that the Templars had been holding at their headquarters.
Godin's escape would have been made during the most chaotic conditions imaginable, as the entire city tried to evacuate.
And there's only one way out of Accra during the siege, and that's by sea. And so what happened was an emergency evacuation. You had people falling into the sea and drowning. Possessions would have had to be thrown overboard to make more room for people. It was like the fall of Saigon. This is a real scene of human chaos.
Modern archaeologists have recovered 20 merchant and civilian shipwrecks from the chaotic fall of Accra, including a trove of Italian gold coins. But so far, nothing from the Templars. The Templar of Tyre gives few details about how many Templars got out, in how many boats, or what kind of treasure they were carrying. But the fleeing warriors may have left a trail behind during the chaos of battle. Did they drop an anchor or treasure to lighten the load? Could there be a Templar shipwreck in the watery depths? There are many holes in the historical record of the secretive Templars, so even the smallest find could have huge significance.
Throw one in.
Garth and Mikey deploy the latest generation of side-scan sonar, a breakthrough maritime search and rescue technology. This is the first time it has been used to search this harbor. They're joined by Dr. Kobe Charvet, a marine archaeologist who has explored these waters for years, and Reagan Lipinski, a side-scan sonar expert who assists the Coast Guard and military police with underwater investigations.
And so we can cover a pretty good size area. The boat's just going to move forward. We're going to go back and forth.
Side-scan sonar uses sound waves to create three-dimensional images so detailed they can reveal the license plate of a car 150 feet below the surface.
Excellent. Let's see what it sees. We're looking for anything that was dropped or dumped off the boats as they're trying to get out of there. The Templars had more treasure than anyone even knows because their records were burned. When they were escaping, they probably lost more treasure than most of these people had ever known, you know? So I think there's probably some treasure out there somewhere.
Now let's go ahead and drop the towfish in.
Let's see what it sees.
The team is searching the bottom of the ancient city of Accra's harbor, the scene of a dramatic Templar escape in 1291. A small band of knights is rumored to have smuggled the Templars' godly relics out of the city by boat as 250,000 Muslim soldiers approached. Battlefield archaeologist Garth Baldwin and military expert Mikey Kay will survey the sea. If any Templar boats sank or threw something overboard, forensic clues to the Templars' escape tactics may still lie on the sea floor.
We're looking for anything that the Templars dropped as they're trying to get out of there.
The team deploys a next-generation side-scan sonar technology, which has never been used in these waters.
We're literally, I don't know, half a mile off the old city.
Based on the position of a tunnel the Templars used to access the harbor in secret, the team has strategically picked a quarter-square-mile area of the bay, where a Templar boat would have fled for the open sea.
You can see we're already starting to get some imaging.
That's wicked.
The boat slowly trolls the grid back and forth as the side-scan sonar pings the sea floor 36 feet below, sending images back that could reveal remnants as small as a coin.
Now, everything we see on here is considered an anomaly. If it's not the ground, it is an anomaly.
The general rule of archaeology is that one of these things is not like the other. If you're looking at a group of objects and one stands out from whatever else is there, then it's probably significant.
See that line?
Yeah.
That's there? That was something metal. It didn't appear that it was anything more than, say, modern trash that would be there.
Right.
Two hours later, the scan hasn't turned up any traces of a Templar artifact.
I'm looking at the screen, thinking we may not find something. What is that?
That is definitely a man-made object
Wow.
right there. Yeah.
It could be anchored.
It definitely could be.
Far out.
An anomaly is detected on the harbor floor at a depth of 36 feet and 500 yards from the city, just out of range of enemy archers on the shore.
It's like 8-9 feet long, and there's an eyelet at the top, so it could be a section of an anchor with some of it buried in the silt.
Marker deployed. Marker deployed.
With a target acquired, the team prepares to dive down and hopefully recover an artifact.
Let's go see if there's any Templar down there. As I'm descending, it becomes apparent that the visibility isn't particularly that good. There's nothing coming up that even resembles what an anchor could be. And then in the periphery, I see Kobe waving at me. So we all started following him.
Kobe takes out his knife and he starts scraping this thing, and he's scraping all the crustacean and the growth off of it, and it's black. I have yet to see a black rock from around here. We're diving down to the position where the supposed anchor was. Couldn't find it, but we find a piece of one chunk of rock. Looks like octagonal because it's got flat sides.
The local stone here, it's the kurkar. It's a kind of a sandstone or limestone. This one is a kind of a schist or granite stone, which is not from the area or from the country. And it's typically for ballast.
Templars would have used those stones for ballast.
Might be.
This type of ballast stone was used for stabilization in Venetian galleys, fast, maneuverable sailing vessels that were the Templars' boat of choice for war and transport.
The Templars were very sophisticated in their military hardware. They were wealthy enough to buy the best of everything. And the Italian merchants had the best galleys that would be able to transfer massive amounts of wealth and goods from one side of the Mediterranean to the other.
Galleys rented or purchased from the Venetians could be deadly weapons. Fit with battering rams and even catapults, they had oars in addition to sails to ensure maximum velocity. But if the ships needed to move faster, the ballast stones were thrown overboard.
The most interesting thing is that we are in the entrance channel to the harbor. This is not the place where you are throwing ballast or any other stuff unless you are in danger.
You're dumping ballast outside and cutting an anchor? You're hauling ass. A ballast stone outside the city walls, as far as it was, does support a scenario that we know took place. We'd like to have found more, but sometimes that's just in the nature of archaeology. But it does support the concept and the scenes that we're thinking about, that, you know, the Templars are getting the hell out of there.
The ballast stone supports the theory that the Templars were escaping with heavy cargo, like gold and silver, or even the Ark of the Covenant. The Templars would have flung anything, including themselves, off the ship to save it.
After the fall of Acre, their evacuation marks the end of an era. It was the end of the Crusades. The order is in total retreat and the Holy Land's falling.
The once unstoppable knights were entering a time of uncertainty. Now more than ever, they would need to continue refining their survival tactics. The blueprint for those tactics may have began with Theobald Godin, the new Templar Grand Master, who may have been entrusted with saving the Order's holiest relics in the heat of battle.
One account tells us that once the Templars under Theobald Godin had left Acre, that they reached Cyprus. This was really the nearest safe haven.
With the Templars' bases in the Holy Land wiped out by the Muslim Mamluks, Cyprus was the nearest friendly Christian kingdom.
When you look at the map and you look at the options that the Templars had, Cyprus, from a military perspective, is a no-brainer.
Cyprus is in the eastern Mediterranean, a day's sail from Acre and the site of 5 Templar strongholds. But even this safe haven was far from truly safe. As a busy trading hub, Cyprus attracted seafarers from around the world, friends and enemies alike. After the fall of Acre, the major ports were jammed with refugees, a chaotic situation easily infiltrated by pirates and Muslim spies. Written accounts confirm Godin arrived in Cyprus, but give no details of how he could have brought the world's most valuable holy relics safely ashore amidst the chaos.
We know that they'd had knocked out of them in Acre. There wasn't very many of them. So if I'm the Grand Master Templar, I'm thinking covert. I'm thinking that I want to be able to take the HVA, bring it from sea to land, and do it without many people being around.
Mikey was stationed on Cyprus as a Royal Air Force pilot and knows the island well.
Look up the west of the island, up towards Paphos.
There we go, it's Paphos.
I know from flying over this area quite extensively that there would be potentially some awesome caves and awesome coastline where you could actually get an HVA in quite secretively.
Mikey pinpoints an area on the western side of the island called Paphos. In 1291, it was sparsely populated, but near the site of an isolated Templar outpost.
It's out there.
I think the key thing for us is working out whether you can get a boat in on there and how dangerous that might be. Look at this. For a covert infill, this is perfect.
The Knights Templar were allegedly wiped out in 1307. Mikey Kay and Garth Baldwin are investigating whether they could have survived using battle-tested escape tactics. According to a written account from the Templar of Tyre, a small band of Templars escaped the catastrophic fall of Acre in 1291 and sailed to Cyprus, possibly with powerful holy relics. But nothing is known about how the Knights pulled it off. Mikey and Garth are testing the feasibility of the Templars executing a high-risk covert landing.
The Templars have been knocked senseless in Acco, so it was a small team that was coming out of there. There was a lot of risk coming in through the main port, so the contingency plan would be operating covertly. I'm thinking if it's a big boat that the Templars had, this is about as close as they're going to be getting, yeah?
The fastest ships in the Templar arsenal were galleys bought from the Venetians. But maneuvering a ship the length of 2 modern-day semi-trucks along this rugged and shallow coastline was risky.
If you're bringing something in like the Ark of the Covenant, that's not an insignificant piece of cargo. The most vulnerable part of this mission is transitioning from sea to land. Imagine doing this at night.
No.
No moon.
No, and no motor.
There would have been no calm moment until they have their treasure and the relics here in a secure location. So finding somewhere completely out of sight where they had security and space to regroup would have been essential.
The galleys were outfitted with small shore boats for beach landings. The Templars perfected this kind of amphibious approach 50 years earlier during the 7th Crusade, when the Knights rowed stealthily up the Nile to attack Egypt. But tiny defenseless rowboats made the Templars and their relics vulnerable targets.
Right there to the left.
Look at that. All right, he's left a little bit. Good. Okay, lift her up. Okay, let's go in. Oh my God.
The team discovers a deep inlet and a sea cave 10 miles from a remote Templar outpost. This stretch of coastline could hide dozens more caves like this, providing the Templars many options.
It's a giant cavern. You could stay there if you had to for a little while and regroup.
A landing site like this would be an ideal place for a small band of warrior monks to link up with reinforcements from the land, while staying out of sight of any potential enemies. Using limestone caves fit the Templar MO seen in Jerusalem.
We saw limestone caverns in Zedekiah's cave. Without a doubt, those would have been utilized by the Templars in Cyprus as they were in Jerusalem.
If they were trying to bring something in, perfect space.
Absolutely.
Absolutely perfect space. Perfect access to the beach if you get compromised. Let's go look at the exfil route.
Oh, yeah.
No way. God.
Yeah.
This is complete shielding from the ocean, shielding from the land.
You got a ceiling.
You now are hidden from the ocean. If you tuck into the cliff, you're hidden from above. Just allows your team to rest up, take a breath, take a pause, and get ready for the next phase. Doesn't get any better for a covert op.
After the fall of Acre, the Templars' most secure strongholds were back in Europe, the likely final destination for holy relics. But a covert landing in Cyprus would have been a key stopover in a masterful escape strategy forged from 200 years of military tactics, learned in the crucible of the Crusades.
Let's go.
The Templars are kicked out of Jerusalem. They come to Akko. They turn this place into their opus of planning. They learned what their best escape routes would be and how they could build them. They quarried a tunnel from the fortress to the marina. It's possible. They took everything with them, their relics, they took their treasures. They got out of here on their ships, coming into a cave, undercover. You go from security to security. Maybe they had evolved into this organization, this group with so many skills that they could exploit all the resources they needed. They didn't need to bring anybody else into it. They keep everything secret to get to where they were going next and survive.
Just 16 years after landing in Cyprus, the Templars would vanish from the face of the earth. Could the covert tactics they honed in Jerusalem and Acre have given them the edge to pull off one of the greatest escapes of all time?
There's evidence that the Templars were tipped off.
Gone from basically being a Navy SEAL or SAS operation, we're now talking CIA. The Templars had a load of wealth. Where did it go? Wow.
These coins look Templar. It's just unreal.
This is straight out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. One of the ways in which an organization can work in the shadows is a secret means of communication.
The symbols of the Templars link up all these things that we've been seeing. Cross marks the spot. What is the symbolism behind that window?
The Grail, the Holy Grail.